Hey, welcome to Wagamama Ranch. Please like, subscribe, and share. So this was our first year of doing hay, and we had a old baler, and it was a round baler, and it caught fire. So we had to use one of Brian's dad's square baler from the 1900s. It was an archaic thing, and we had all this hay on the ground, and we literally had a hurricane coming in, and we had to get this hay off the ground so we could sell it. And we have our 6-year-old at the time driving this F-350 with the trailer. And Brian was off trying to get the last pieces of hay baled into square bales, and it was just me and Kai, my son, and I had him driving, and I was throwing these bales of hay up there, and I'm telling you, that is no joke. Talk about far harder than any CrossFit workout that I've ever done. But the very cool thing is, my son is an amazing driver now after all that. Here, greeting my husband.
This is not how it goes every day. I do not get greeted like this.
I made you a protein shake.
Who's looking at this that you're trying to sell this shit to?
So, come here, babe. We're literally going to do an impromptu chat about hay, okay? So, I want to ask you questions because I'm a city girl, and before we moved here, I had no idea about hay. Like, I would be on the roadside and I'd see these big balls of hay and I'd just be like, okay. Now I see you do it and I'm like, oh my goodness. There is so much work that goes into just one ball of hay for $65 if you're lucky, or depending on the kind of hay that you have. But you have to cut it, mow it, you have to rake it, and then you have to bale it. And this all depends on your equipment,
Sounds
the
to me
weather.
like she knows about hay, so I don't know what you need me for.
Well, I want you to tell me about the grass, like, you know, the minerals, and you're fertilizing it. The first step is like the fertilization, right?
Well, first step is to do soil samples on it. If you don't know what your soil pH is, what your soil currently has, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium-wise, and you don't know what to add to your soil. You don't know what it is.
So you need all those things for the
You
cows?
have a nutritious plant. I mean, a grass is just a plant. So it's like growing a plant, but you're only giving it half of what it needs.
But that's the nutrition of your cows, correct?
Well, sure, and then that also brings about the nutrition, how nutritious the grass is, yeah.
So that also, like, the protein in the grass
values,
is really important. So you get that from the soil. And then when you get your soil samples back, they tell you, okay, you need to put this kind of...
Well, they may be like, listen, your pH is a little high, you need to add some lime or whatever. I mean, first you have to neutralize your soil pH. Then you're adding the fertilizer behind it. If your soil pH is off, fertilizer is a waste of time.
Right. See, I didn't know any of that. But that's all for a bale of hay that costs like so much time.
You got to have $100,000 in equipment just to bale the hay.
Right, but listen to me. Like, okay, so you get the bale of hay, and the cows and the horses are munching on this hay. And how long is the process? Like, the whole process can take 4 days, and that's all dependent on weather, right? Like, okay, so tell me, you mow the hay, and you can't mow it in the morning because the grass is wet.
You just don't want to cut wet grass. You don't want your grass to get wet in general.
So when
you cut hay, you've got to have like a 4 or 5 day span where there's no rain. Because if it gets rained on, now you're in a world when now it's all wet, and you've got to run what's called a teeter through it and fluff it back out again, and it's just...
So if you have to like let it sit there after you've mowed the whole acres, you've got to cure your grass.
Yep, it needs to be cured somewhere. I mean, most hay is probably around 12% moisture, but if you don't let it cure enough, if you just you cut it and then you go and tight wrap, bale up 100 pounds of hay, in about 2 days you're going to go out there and watch your hay bale smoking. It'll be literally smoking like it's on fire. It's because it's fixing to catch on fire. Because it's so hot inside there trying to cure out, it'll spontaneously combust.
So
many of barns have burnt to the ground because of that.
Okay, so I've mowed my grass. I got to wait a whole day so it
depends on the
cures?
relative humidity, the temperature. You may have to wait 2 days.
Let's just keep it simple. So, okay, we wait 2 days. So now we cut it. We wait 2 days, and then we got to go back with this machine called a rake and rake it all up so it's in these nice lines. And then you can go back with your baler and bale it all up. And that can take like 3 days.
Total process, depending on how big it is.
Of course, your
3 to 4
acreage
days.
and stuff. There's a whole process, all for one little bale of hay. So I feel like you have to love this, or you have to love your animals so much.
Sometimes it's a necessity. You know how much a bale of hay is? If you have 100 cows and one cow eats 3 bales of hay over winter, that's 300 bales of hay. Now go buy that at $65.
Your own hay, it's got to be in your blood, because otherwise you just go buy it.
Like I said, 65 times 100.
Yeah, but you're paying for the
I'm
equipment.
sorry, 65 times 300.
Okay, but equipment that always breaks, and isn't it?
Key with that is get new equipment. Don't buy somebody's used equipment that they got rid of because it was breaking. And that's expensive.
I mean, it's so much work, and I just have a whole new appreciation for people that like actually make hay, bale hay, haymakers.
You can work on equipment, or you can buy new equipment.
And you can bake in the sun. I called him earlier, and I'm like, "Are you a frazzled little lizard man yet?"
I'm close to it.
Okay, thanks. So we bit the bullet, and we have a new mower.
Brand new. 2023 Kubota.
And it mows twice as fast as the other one, so you can see what he has accomplished in 2 hours as opposed to like 4. Babe, hurry up.
Woman,
Let's go.
this is my house out here. Don't be rushing me.
Yes, sir. The thing about this tractor is that it has air conditioning, but you see the windows? It's like being in a little sauna. We need to tint them, and we have not done that yet. But it's a pretty big tractor. Horsepower. Act like I know what I'm talking about there, huh? So it guzzles diesel, by the way. Anything to say about this tractor?
Yes, this is a Kubota M9960, which means it's 99 horsepower. It's a 60 series Kubota. And I have used it for everything from cutting hay, moving things, digging holes, to using it as a bulldozer. This thing is uncomparable. We use the rake to throw the hay into windrows. We do this after the hay is cured on the grass after cutting it. It allows the hay to finish curing with air, and throws it in good rows, easy for the baler to pick up.
All that. How you feel, Papa?
So after seeing all this, you may wonder, why do we do this? Well, because somebody's got to do it.